Okay, welcome to the next part, which is adding the Debian workstation to the domain. So I've got my domain up and running here, Zen server domain.local, and I've got some users made as well. Okay, there's an OU called PJ, and there's a user in there called Bob, and there's also some shared volumes on here, shared folders. I've got one called test, and in there I've put some evidence so we can map to drives. So going back to the Ubuntu server, my settings should show NAT, okay? And if I go to the network settings, it'll show that I'm on DHCP. So I'll leave that alone because I need to get the updates. So I've given you the notes on what commands to run, but you can always pause this video when I put the commands in anyway. So the first thing to do is su minus, first thing to do, and then that will change you to the root, and that's where we need to be to do all of these exercises. Otherwise you'll run into a load of problems. Then we do sudo apt update, okay, and it'll go to Debian and it will get the files we need. Then the next thing we need to do is get the files that we need to add to a domain. So they are realm and samba-tools and Kerberos-tools. Hit enter there, and it goes through really quickly. I'm going to say yes to continue, and then I'm going to have to enter some options. Now, on my server, it's domain.local and Zen server. So this has to be in capitals. So type in domain.local. The server is called Zen server. You'll have to put whatever you've called yours in. Then it asks for an administrative account on your domain. So mine's administrator, but you might have made other domain administrator accounts as well. So administrator, and that's it really. We'll download all the updates and it'll get everything we need. Okay, so the next thing is to now add it to the same network as our server, which is 192.168.0.1. So I will click here again, wired settings, just follow the options that I did. IP version 4, manual, 192.168.0. I'll give it 20. 255.255.255.0, and the DNS is 192.168.0.1. That's the server, so same IP range. I'm going to click apply, and then something else I'll do just to add in one more option is if I type in, if I typed in advanced search, so IP version 4, I'll put in here in capitals domain.local as well, okay? So click save. I got there by clicking the left bar and then typing in advanced, and then you can see the settings there. Okay, so that's that done. So I've changed the IP address. I need to go here now, settings, change it to host only. Okay, and now it's case sensitive, so I need to type in ping 192.168.0.1, which is the server. and I'm getting replies. I'm also going to do ns lookup domain.local, and you can see it's resolved the name and that host. Something else that is always worth doing as well is if we type in sudo nano / etc / resolv.conf, sorry. Okay, it says search domain.local, all that is correct. So it's worth checking that anyway. So everything is done, so we're now in a position where we can look to see if we can find our realm or our domain. So if I type in realm discover, it said no, it didn't find anything. No default realm discovered. That's because I didn't put it in properly. I need to put in realm discover domain.local. I forgot that myself then, and you can see that it's found it this time. The next thing I need to do now is join the domain. So sudo realm join, and then minus, and the user is going to equal administrator, and then it's going to be domain.local. So you should ask me now for the server's administrator password, for the domain administrator on Windows. I enter that, and if I do, well, I can press the up arrow actually, realm discover domain.local, you'll see where we're now part of the domain. It's added in allow realm logins, and it's put that in for us. The next thing that I can do is to add permissions for people to be able to log in. So sudo realm permit -g for the for group, and then it's going to be domain users because everybody's in that group. So, and then if I press the up arrow, realm discover again, or I'll do, this time I'll change, I'll do realm list. You see it's got domain users there this time. Okay, so we've added the domain users there. Now I know that I've got a user called Bob, so if I do su minus bob at domain.local, should ask me for a password, or it's just, oh, it's put me in actually. So I've logged in as super user for Bob, so I've logged in as Bob. So now I've actually joined the domain and I've logged in as one of my test users. If I go to my server and I go to Active Directory users and computers, if I go to computers, you'll see that my servers, my Debian servers that I've all added are here. So my server will be one of these. It's probably this one, Debian here. So I've added to the domain. I've got my user called Bob. So what I'll do, just to prove everything works, I'll log out, and I'm going to log in as one of my domain users. It's going to be Bob, so it's not listed. bob at domain.local. Slight typo there, look. Put my domain password in, and I've logged in. Now, to prove that it's working, we can ignore the first error here. To prove that it's working, I'll see if I can join the network for the folder called test with the files in it. So I go to network. If I type in smb:// it's Zen server, that's the name of the server, /test, that's the name of the share that I made. Domain.local password 1 exclamation. Okay, did I do something wrong there? Oh, I did a typo there, see it? It's SMB Zen server test, and I've logged in, and on my server you'll see I put in there, so it's found them. If I do another one, test, if I go back to my server or my client, if I press F5, you'll see that's there. If I do a new folder, and I'll call it Debian, if I now go back to my server, you'll see my folders there. So everything's working. I've joined the machine to the domain, I've pinged it, I've connected to a shared volume, everything is done. So I hope you found that useful, and I hope you can repeat that with your domain names, your server names, and your user accounts. Thank you very much.